With backpacks, if the liner rips, I just sew it. If a strap loosens, I reinforce it. They're a lot more forgiving, but backpacks aren't invincible. You know what's funny? Before every trip, I always end up in the same debate with myself. Backpack or suitcase? And every time I think this should be easy by now, but no. It always depends on where I'm going, how long I'm staying, and let's be real, what kind of mood I'm in that day. But honestly, I live somewhere in between, and that's exactly why we're talking about this today. So let's dive into the great debate, backpack versus suitcases. Because if you've ever traveled, you know how much this one decision can literally shape your whole trip. And trust me, I've learned some of these lessons the hard way, like almost missing my flight in Japan because of a suitcase situation. But more on that later. Let's start with backpack. I'll admit it, I'm biased. I love backpacks. They feel like freedom to me. You sling it over your shoulders and suddenly your hands free. Just in case somebody tries to get frisky, you're able to defend yourself. But also, you're not dragging everything behind you. You're not getting stuck on cobblestones, and you can just move fast if you need to. Honestly, I love that on flights. Most airlines count backpacks as a personal item, so that means if you play your cards right, you can skip paying for carry-on altogether. Sometimes if the plane isn't full, I'll even sneak my backpack into the overhead bin, but if not, if it's right under the seat in front of me, so like no problem. If you're liking this breakdown so far, don't forget to subscribe. Now, here's the catch. Not all backpacks are created equally. Some are designed for hiking, some for laptop, and some for travel. And if you don't pick the right one, you'll feel it. I'm someone who loves compartments. I like to know exactly where my passport is, where my water bottle is going, and I need all the little hooks and places to clip things on. Carabiners are my best friend. If I can attach something to my bag instead of carrying it in my hand, I'm doing it. That's just my style. But I've also noticed some backpacks make you dig for your stuff, and that can be a nightmare when you're trying to get your boarding pass or your ID quickly. And let me tell you something about zippers. Zippers matter. The placement of your zippers can literally make the difference between a safe trip and becoming a target for pickpocketing. I'd rather keep the zippers either locked or tucked away in the same direction so I know if it's been tampered with, because some scammers are smooth. They'll unzip you before you even notice, and that's why I like backpacks with hidden pockets, especially ones that sit flat against your back. I'll feel more secure that way and not paranoid. Of course, backpacks do have their downsides. The biggest one, weight. Listen, sometimes your backpack feels like it's growing heavier with every block you walk. And let's not even talk about how you feel when you're squeezing through a crowded market. It's like you're becoming a bull in a china shop, knocking people right and left with your bag. Plus, backpacks can get hot. That sweaty back situation, not cute. And this can definitely be a problem when you're on the train. And trust me, feeling a bull in a china shop has happened to me a couple of times, especially on my solo trip through Panama on the train. Now, one thing I do appreciate about backpacks are their durability. Suitcases can break, wheels pop off, handles jam, shells crack. I've had to argue with warranty companies just to get something fixed. And let me tell you, it's not worth the stress at all. And you can check out this video here where I show you how I fixed my luggage, and I show you the annoying issues and things to be aware of when picking luggage. One time, they wanted me to leave my credit card information over the phone just to get a quote. Like, no thank you. With backpacks, if the liner rips, I just sew it. If a strap loosens, I reinforce it. They're a lot more forgiving, but backpacks aren't invincible. Rain is a killer. If you don't have a rain cover and you get caught in a storm, your stuff is soaked. Also, fragile items, forget about it. If you're bringing wine, glass souvenirs, or that can't handle a squeeze, backpacks are not your friend. Suitcases definitely win in that category. Speaking of suitcases, let's switch gears. There's something satisfying about a good suitcase. Everything is organized, everything has a place, and nothing is sitting on your shoulders. Hard shell suitcases especially are amazing if you're packing delicate items, or if you just like the aesthetic of a sleek rolling bag. And let's be real, those 360-degree wheels, game changer. You'll feel like you're gliding through the airport. When it works, it's amazing. But when you step off the smooth airport floor and hit cobblestones in Europe or uneven sidewalks in Latin America, and suddenly those wheels don't look so glamorous anymore. I've dragged a suitcase through terrains where I wish I had just strapped on a backpack. And in places where the rooms are tiny, like in Japan, having a top open suitcase is so much easier. You can open it in a cramped space without taking up the whole floor. That's why I pick different suitcases for different destinations. Hard shell in humid climates, top opening in small hotel rooms. It's all strategy. Now, I'll be honest, I've never traveled with just a suitcase. I always bring a backpack too because airlines are so lenient about backpack. And here's a little hack. When I'm returning home and they ask people to check bags for free, I almost always volunteer my suitcase. Why? Because at that point, I'm done. I'd rather not deal with dragging it through layovers. If it gets delayed or lost, I'd rather deal with it when I'm home. That's my pro tip. Let them check it for free on the way back and save you the hassle. But suitcases do come with risk. They're easier to separate from you. Someone can walk away with your bag at baggage claim if you're not careful. And if you've got valuables inside, forget about it. I always keep my most important things on my body in my backpack. That's just safer. Plus, fixing a suitcase, usually expensive. Unless you're really handy, you'll either have to pay or toss it out. And don't even get me started on airlines and baggage fees. Backpacks usually slide under the radar, but if your suitcase is overweight or doesn't meet requirements, you're gonna pay. I had one occasion with Frontier in Detroit where they actually weighed my backpack. I was so mad. I ended up stuffing things into my coat pocket just to make it pass. It was a scene, but normally backpacks don't get weighed. Suitcases almost always do. The thing, I don't think there's a universal winner here. Backpacks and suitcases both shine in different situations. If I'm hopping trains through Europe, running through airports, or staying in places with no elevators, I definitely want a backpack. If I'm headed somewhere for a longer stay, need to protect my souvenirs, or want the organization of neatly packed cubes, hand me that suitcase. Sometimes I just use both. Let me circle back to that Japan story. I was staying in a capsule hotel and had my suitcase stored there. I decided to take a quick trip to try to go see Mount Fuji with very limited amount of time. Long story short, I definitely was not good at proper planning my time, and so I had to run back quickly because I didn't want to miss my flight home. And let me tell you, dragging that thing through crowded streets was stressful trying to make my flight. Just had my backpack, I would have been fine. Honestly, I should have used the Black Cat delivery service that they have, where they send your luggage ahead to the airports or to your destination. Lesson learned. But those kind of experiences are what taught me the bag you choose isn't just about style, it's about how you want to move through the world. So, here's my bottom line. Backpacks give you freedom and flexibility. Suitcases give you structure and protection. Your choice depends on your trip length, your destination, and your travel style. Me, I lean towards backpacks because I love having everything on me. I'll never give up my suitcase completely. It's just about balance. At the end of the day, whether you're team backpack or team suitcase, let me know in the comments below, because the real question is, how do you want your trip to feel? Do you want to move fast and light, or do you want to roll and organize and be secure? There's no wrong answer, just the one that best fits you. If any of this has been helpful, please go ahead and give this a like. And honestly, I'll keep switching depending on where I'm going next. But what about you? Are you a backpack traveler or a suitcase roller? Or a hybrid like me? Drop it in the comments below because I'd love to hear how other travelers make their decisions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye!